J2E has a selection of tools that are great for younger learners to make use of. So through the JIT 5 app, they can select that, and then it opens up a suite of tools that are easy for our younger learners to make use of and gain an understanding of what they're able to do when they're using technology. So on the J2 right, and you can see at the top, we've got our selection of different apps through the JIT tools. And we could select an image to go in the background of what we want to write about. Or there are different pictures that we can also use, and some that we've created ourselves may already be in there, or they can use a search to use it. So if we just go back to the templates and we want to use the park, learners are able to write their story. They're able to adapt it, changing the size of the font. They can change the writing type, and they can also change the color of it. There's also some different areas where they can select words that they may help them with their writing. So if they're writing about transport, they can listen to the word being said and then copy it in and use it as a word bank. The next tool that they're able to use in the JIT is the JIT Paint. So by selecting Paint, we're able to go again, and we've got the same templates as before. So we'll select the park. We can also use a selection of different images that we can use within our mini beasts there, or we can go down and we can see the range of different pictures and images that they've got for us to be able to use. So if we want, then we can select our mini beast, we can add that to our piece of work. We can make it larger or smaller, and we can drag it on and place them where we want. We can also use the paint tool to draw pictures. So we can paint on our screen and create images using the tools there. Moving along to the turtle. This is an introduction to coding. So we've got some different activities that have already been created. So if I select the big bad wolf, you'll be able to see an introduction to coding where I need to code the wolf to go to the 3 houses. So I'll go to the straw house first, and you can see that we get the code appearing as we type it in. Now, if we go to the more advanced coding, we then have to code our wolf to move, and we have to guess or make an assumption of where that wolf is going to end up. And what this allows learners to do is to code and understand what's going to happen. So if we press play, we'll see our code play out, and then we can see how well we've done, and then we can go back in and continue. So they're able to select the simple or the advanced options there. They are able to add additional sprites. So if I wanted to add a helicopter, I can then add the coding in for the helicopter as well, and I can have those sprites interacting on my background. Moving over to chart, learners are able to use different charts to see information they've added, so the data that they've added. So on this one, we'll just select the blank. I can select different animals that we want to say our learners in class have identified as being their favourites, or animals that they may have in class, and we'll be able to see that information can be then put into a table, and we've got it as a block chart as well. Now, if I want to represent that data as a pie chart, I can also see it as a pie chart. I can remove the block. I can see it as a bar graph, and there's also the option to see it as a line graph as well. Now, it's important that learners understand that a line graph may not be correct for this because our data doesn't change or fluctuate as we're going. So we've got data that can't be split into halves using dogs or cats. So we need to make sure that we're using the appropriate charts to see what our information looks like. Moving along to pictogram. We can select, again, from the templates that are already there. So if I select mini beasts and we're doing a mini beast hunt in the outdoor learning area, we can come in and we can represent our mini beast, and it will show us a representation of the data that we're collecting through a pictogram. So learners are able to add and interpret anything that they want there. So they can add different chocolate bars, it could be TV programs, sports teams, but they're able to use pictograms and pictures to represent the data that they've been collecting. Moving over to animate. And again, what we have is a series of the templates that we can use. We also have all of the images that we had earlier on and the selection again, going through what's available for us. So if I select the park background, we can see that we get our first image as a park, and it may be that I want to add an ant to my picture, and I'm also going to add a bumblebee. As I've created that, what I can then do is click the Add a Scene button, and it means that I can go into my next one, and I'm able to move my bumblebee across, and I'm also able to move my ant. So it leaves a remnant of the image that I'm going to change. And again, I can add my next scene. I'm going to add my ant again, go across, and you can see that I'm moving my mini beasts across the screen so that when I press play, we'll be able to see them moving along. And these can be used for all types of things where we can speed up the animation. It could be that we want to show the water cycle, and we can create an image of the water cycle and play it through. We can also add text to our work, and we can add different pictures that we want to draw in as well. So that's the J2 Animate. Moving across then, we have Branch, where we have our branch diagram. So again, we can select a background. We can go up or down and select something that may be relevant. So if we select our mini beasts and we want to select the different images that are going to be part of our branching diagram, and then we've selected those, and then we can select to sort them. So clicking sort, we can then put a question. Can it fly? And then we sort it with what would be a correct answer and what would be an incorrect answer. We then move across to our next question. So we get our three options there from the can it fly? Yes. Can it sting? And again, we follow that process all the way through until we've got all our information, and then we can go through the branching diagram using that with yes, no answers. And finally, on the JIT tools, we have the mix, where we're able to create a layout using different pieces of work or different organization tools to organize the work that we've done. So we can go in and select work from our folder if that's what we want to do. We can also add in the mini beasts and talk about it and create storyboards. And we can also then add more and more pages and select different layouts for our presentations as well.